is
Welcome to
dead.
Headlocks, Heels, and Havoc, the wildest tag team in podcasting where the kayfabe drops and the chaos takes over. Let's ring the damn bell.
Headlock fight, heels on the prowl, dropping elbows, hearing growl, feel the foul. No script here, just real, no bluff. Kayfabe crack, now the dirt gets rough. Headlocks, heels, havoc in the zone. Stepping in the ring, chaos at your home. No filters, no mask, just raw pants on. Wrestling unscripted, we on the throne. Title bells, mic checks, crowd going crazy. Drop truth bombs, leaving lines feeling hazy. Beyond the kayfabe, past the charade, where legends are born and stories get made. Headlocks poppin', who's hitting the mat? Welcome to the Havoc where the real talk's at. Tune in, step through, leave the fake at the door. Headlocks, heels, Havoc, now hear the roar.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I am one half of the greatest tag team in this here podcasting game. It's me, it's that Legend, and with me as always is everybody's favorite uncle and my tag team partner, everybody's favorite uncle, Uncle Slam.
What's up, family? Welcome to the People's Podcast. How's everybody doing today?
And not only that, welcome back. It's been a while since we've been able to do any kind of a recap show and everything. So, yes, we're back in the swing of things. As you can see, you are back in the Havoc zone. And with us is, is the head of Mayhem Media, president, CEO, founder, all those kinds of names and everything. And we're adding another title to his repertoire tonight, too. So this is what I was telling you about there, JD, was we got a new name for you, or a new title for you, and it is officially, JD is the Headlocks, Heels, and Havoc official AEW correspondent.
Excellent. I love that. I love that.
We need a correspondent for it. He keeps up with it more than we do. So see, boom.
Yeah,
works
I love
out
that,
perfectly.
I'll make a new logo for when I don't have my camera on.
There you go. He's well. So everybody, welcome the newest correspondent to Headlocks, Heels, and Havoc for the AEW. The head of Mayhem Media, president and founder, JD, the bad guy.
Absolutely. Hey, yo, and absolutely. Yeah, that's great. I will definitely wear that. I'll wear that title with honor. And Uncle Slam, I hate to be this guy, but Uncle Slam, we were just talking before the show started, and you sounded fine. Now I think your audio is coming from your webcam mic, buddy.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Hold on, let me go adjust. Because I didn't change anything. Let's see.
I figured you'd want to know, but just when you were talking, the closer you get to the mic doesn't really seem to affect your volume, which tells me that it's likely coming from your webcam.
Let's see.
Well, while he is dealing with that.
Shout out to Andrew Paletto because he's usually the audio guy. He always uses his ears obviously better, and he's always the one that picks up on that first. So Shout out to Andrew Paletto. Popcorn and Whiskey.
Yes, Popcorn and Whiskey. Go watch it. Usually on Friday or Saturday nights, mostly Saturdays. A buddy of ours, he just gets on, talks about topics and stuff and everything, drinks a little whiskey, eats a little popcorn. So go check him out. Go check out the gentleman that we just had on our last show, Class. Christopher Landon. Oh, Lord, I'm terrible. Lord.
Just had him on.
Beat me
What's
up.
it sound like now?
Man.
Better words?
I can still hear you. I'd say let's just roll with it and we'll figure it out after.
Yeah, we can still hear you, but I think it's still coming from your webcam, so I'm not sure what's going on with it.
Christopher, I apologize about this, brother, man. I cannot believe I did this, but he goes by the name Class. Christopher Landon Anthony Streeter. Sorry, Lord, jeez. It's a Friday, y'all. I'm telling you, it's a Friday. I can't get words right. I can't do things right. It's terrible. It's borderline Charles Barkley terrible. But we're not going to go there.
Is this better or worse now?
We hear you just fine.
Okay. Well, we'll figure it out. Like I said,
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Check.
But we got a few.
I don't think it's your mic still. I'm really not sure why. If I was looking over your shoulder, I could probably diagnose it in 2 minutes for you, but I'm not standing over your shoulder.
I ain't got too many stories. We'll figure it out later. But yeah, we're going to get into a couple of stories here tonight. I ain't got too much because, like I said, we haven't been able to keep up with much wrestling. Doing the world title tournament, it's been awesome.
Yeah.
JD, of course, was part of that, along with others that joined in. We appreciate everybody who came. I cannot sit here and name you all. But if you haven't seen the results, we came to the conclusion that Ric Flair is the greatest heavyweight champion of all time. And since we're here and just to start the show off, I'd like to hear y'all's opinions. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that's agreeable? We'll start with you, Uncle Slam.
I don't have a problem with it. I think you could make arguments for other people also, but given, his history, like given longevity, given title reigns, I don't have an issue with it. Like I said, I think Ric Flair still, he's a pop icon, saying, kind of like Hogan. He's got the belts to prove it. He's wrestled all over the world. He's wrestled through territories. He's been through Japan. He's been all over. It's really hard to make a case against him not being the greatest or whatever. So, yeah, I don't have a problem with that. Like I said, not at all.
Okay. Okay. JD.
Woo! If there was any doubt that the limousine riding, woo, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, son of a gun was going to end up at the end of that tournament, of course it was going to be Ric Flair. Of course it was going to be Ric Flair. Who else could it be? Like I said, I think it came down, like I said, in that episode, guys. I think you guys, your whole format and the guests that you had on allowed you to get enough of a variety where you kind of got all the arguments. And I think there were likely people, I know that my pick was swayed more than once or twice by arguments that were made. So I think you got a good group of people who were willing to talk about it, not necessarily just had their minds made up, unless it was me about Hogan. So I think it ended up exactly the way it should have. I think you guys put on an amazing tournament and an amazing string of shows. And with the guests that you got, I think it added legitimacy to what you guys were doing. I think Ric Flair and Hogan, it coming down to, and that's the other thing. Who were the other two guys? It was MJF and AJ Styles, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I want to say about that is that not forget even if you don't want to say Ric Flair and Hogan that they didn't belong in the finals. Let's look at the final four. You had two of that are definitely arguably, and we had the argument and the discussion in it about Ric Flair and Hogan, right? Two of the greatest to ever do it. And then you got MJF and AJ Styles. AJ Styles is retiring now. His career is over, but he wasn't one of the original guys, and MJF is an up-and-comer. If it wasn't going to be Hogan and Flair, it should have been MJF and AJ Styles. So I think you guys, that's what I think just adds more credibility to what you guys did there, was because if you took the opposite sides, the losers of the Final Four, and put them against each other, that's an ease that I completely buy that as the finals of the tournament as well.
I agree. I thought
hold on one second. So, like, if we didn't have Hogan, not Hogan win, but Ric Flair win, who do you think would have won? Like, who would have been in his place as the greatest?
You mean on the other side of the bracket, or who would I have wanted to see it go?
Just in general, for both of y'all, just in general. Like, if you could, change everything up, like, who do you put? Like, say we take Ric Flair out of the whole tournament.
I think if Flair's not in it, okay, this is the way I look at it.
Go Great question.
It was kind of like in the 80s, the WWE, and to put it in an analogy between our rivalry, Uncle Slam, WWE was the Lakers, NWA was the Celtics. Flair was the leader of the Celtics. He was Larry Bird. Hulk was Magic. You can't go wrong with either one. And at the end of the day, it was just... There's nobody else besides Flair that you can... maybe... because the argument came down, and I think that was one of the closest ones. I don't have the tally right here in front of me. But one of the closest ones was Hogan and Austin. I think the only other person, the only three people who can be considered the greatest of all time, and I hate to say this, the only other name that I think you could put on that Mount Rushmore, it's just his time was so short, is The Rock, just because of his impact.
You would put John Cena on that list?
Yeah, he's
Given the
definitely
longevity.
Cena. Well, Cena's, but he's not like when you're talking about like the greatest of all time. I guess Cena can talked about that
in
now,
no
now that he's
particular
not
order.
retired.
Cena in no particular order. Cena would be top. He would round out the top five.
Okay, that's fair.
It would be Hogan, Austin, Flair, Cena, Rock. In no particular order. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, any one of those five that ends up there, I don't think it matters. I think
Well,
it's a legitimate argument all the way around.
I have a good answer for you on the Slam. I would like to say that without Flair, I don't know, even if you take Flair away as the face of NWA, I think the only other person that would likely be the face or that would have been able to pick up the torch is maybe Sting. And I don't know that if you put Sting and Hogan, that Hogan necessarily, or that Sting necessarily wins that in a tournament kind of thing, right? Yeah. So I think I don't know that there is another person that could beat Flair. Austin, certainly you can make an argument for that, absolutely. Maybe a little bit The Rock. But you know who I would have put there if not Flair? Andre the Giant.
Andre was never world champion.
Well, I didn't understand that, but I meant in terms of being able to defeat Hogan in a tournament style. I think Andre's likely the only other person you would be able to argue against Hogan.
But I don't even think Sting would. I'll be honest with you. I don't think Sting would. As much as I love Sting, I can't, and I hate to say that, I don't know that I would put Sting in the top 15 greatest of all time heavyweight champions.
Well, you're insane. So I mean, your viewers,
but he's not.
It's cool.
I mean, there's so many people I could put ahead of him. There really is, and I don't mean that as an insult. There's so many people that I love. I love Sting. Sting was the reason I started watching NWA/WCW right when it was doing that switch off. But I don't know. I don't know, and it's a thing we'll never actually know. You know what I'm saying?
No,
but it's just one of those things that, right? And I just don't know if he would have had nor wanted. He wanted he. I feel like Sting wanted to be more of one of the boys than he wanted to be the boy, like Hogan did, like Flair did.
No,
I don't think that mattered to Sting. I think Sting just wanted to be a wrestler.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think world championships matter to Sting at all. I fully agree with that. I don't believe
and that's something that I think separates the world champion. The world champion has to want to be the man.
I don't know.
Harley Race wanted to be the man.
I would argue that him wanting to put over the next guy, the way Ric Flair put him up, would be my argument.
Well, Sting. No, that's I'm not talking about that. You have to eventually do that, but you got to be the man to do that.
Yeah,
and you have to want to be the man. If you don't want to be, look at Barry Windham.
I think
Barry Windham could have been top 20 all-time greatest wrestler and multiple-time world champion. But the stories of Barry Windham was, as long as he had a couple $1,000s in his pocket and a pretty lady and a decent car and a drink, he was happy. He didn't care about being world champion.
Yeah.
I think you have to have that drive to be considered, because Barry Windham is a world champion. But is he the greatest world champion? I don't think so. But anyways, that's a debate for another time. But yeah, I think we had fun. I appreciate the kind words too about that championship. We tried to do it as legit as we could. But getting off on some other tangents here. I don't know if anybody else has seen anything, and if you have, please let me know. Oh, hold on. Wolfman's in the chat. He said, "Hey guys, Wolfman here of Mayhem Media." He said, "You rock, J Mac, Uncle Slim, and JD. Too sweet, thank you, sir. Hulkamaniac right here." He said he loves him. Give him the ear thing. That's all the comments we got. We appreciate you watching, Wolfman.
Wolfman, you're fired.
Hey, we're looking for somebody. We're looking for help over here at. We're hiring correspondents, man. We've already got a new one.
You ain't going nowhere. Trust me, bro.
He can
fire. Listen, even if I really wanted to fire Wolfman, I would not be able to. He's already told me as such. He's like, "You can't fire me. I'm not going anywhere." I said, "Oh, really?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "All right, fine." So yeah, there's nothing that can be done. Wolfman is Mayhem Media for life, and that is just the way it is, man.
It's all right. It's legal to work for two different companies. No, I'm just joking.
not under the articles of Mayhem.
He said not under the articles of Mayhem. Hey, the articles of Havoc say it's possible. Anyways, I don't know if either one of you all have heard this, and I don't know because, again, I have not been able to pay much attention to wrestling as far as what's been going on past few weeks. I think the last thing I really watched was the SummerSlam, and to be honest with you, I've heard a few things that's been going on past couple of weeks, so I'm just going to touch on them. I don't have much, so this shouldn't be a very long show, but we are glad to be back doing a little bit of a recap when we don't have a topic to bring up. But the first topic I'm going to bring up, and like I said, I don't know if this is true or not. I can't really find any concrete stuff, so if you all know anything, please let me know. But it says where Chelsea Green won the title at SummerSlam, she's now hurt. She has suffered a serious facial fracture that's keeping her from competing. But I don't know. Do you all know if that's true? And I don't want to spread false information. But
it's kind of funny that you said that, because when I was waiting to pick up my daughter or whatever, I was looking at some clips, on Facebook, and one of the clips that came up was basically Nick Aldis was kind of stripping her of her belt for some reason. Now, I didn't get the audio or whatever, but he was taking her women's title from her, and she was leaving the ring crying, and then she was coming back to the ring. So maybe that's what the storyline is. I don't know exactly.
Huh. So that may be it. Because with it being a broken orbital bone, if it is a broken orbital bone, I don't want, like I said, I don't want to pass along false information, or anything on here. But I just heard it, and I wanted to know if anybody in the comments knows too. Please, comment, let us know, because again, we don't want to put out false information. But that just sucks, man. You get a chance to win the title, and then all of a sudden you get friggin' cracked right in the face, and that's it. Give us the title back. That sucks so bad. Uncle Slam, what do you think about it if that's the case?
It's kind of sad, and it kind of seems like it's one of those things that's happened like a little more common. Obviously her, Rhea Ripley, Seth Rollins, all got hurt. They had to take their, they lost their championship belt. So I don't know if it's something, maybe it's conditioning, or like maybe it's just part of wrestling. And it's just one of those things that kind of happens or whatever. I definitely hate to see it happen, because I do like Chelsea Green a lot. I she was really getting over with fans. I think this was her time. Hopefully, it's something that that she can come back from pretty soon or whatever.
JD,
I'll be honest with you. I had to step away for a moment, so I didn't quite catch all that. But what I'm gathering is that there's a wrestler who got injured and has
Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green. He has
She
to give
won
up.
the
I saw a
title.
report about
She
that,
won
actually.
she won the title about at SummerSlam, and then I guess she's suffered a broken orbital bone now.
Yeah, that stinks. Because especially in the WWE, that's not something that's just because you were there once doesn't mean you're going to get there again. So yeah,
Finn
that
Balor.
stinks. But that's also part of the game in wrestling. It is dangerous. You were talking in your episode earlier how wrestling is fixed. It's not fake. It's the predetermined winners, but what they're doing is very dangerous, and they can take impacts and they can get hurt, and that is one of the side effects of wrestling. It must be bad if it's an orbital bone. It must be bad because we've seen wrestlers with face fractures wrestle with masks on and stuff, so that they can keep going. So if they're going to take the belt off her and take her off TV, it must be a bad one. Then it must be pretty bad.
Yeah, because normally they would just sit there. Well, even if it wasn't that bad, they would probably just pull her from TV for a few weeks. I mean, Lord, they ain't got no problem making people sit on the sidelines and not defending titles for months on end. So it's not a
Okay,
big
I'm
deal.
on WWE's page right now. It says Nick Aldis gives Chelsea Green 30 days to defend her title, or she will lose it. Says SmackDown general manager nearly strips injured Chelsea Green of interim women title before deciding to give her 30 days to become medically cleared from her broken orbital bone and defend her title.
Okay, so
I
now
guess,
that's got me wondering: is this story or is this
real.
You know what I'm saying? Real?
Is it
I think it's a little bit of both, honestly.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Probably.
Because they're
I think you're right,
taking her
Uncle.
injury and they're probably using it as a storyline and shit. Okay, well, she really got hurt. Okay, well, let's take that and let's use that.
I think they got hurt and they said Nick Aldis will strip the title, and then when maybe they found out that it's not going to be that long. Maybe she's going to, like you said, 2 or 3 weeks. J-Mac. Maybe she's off TV for a few weeks. Come back at whatever the next pay-per-view is before the 30-day thing and defend it, or maybe they just do it for a regular weekly show and not a pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We'll see.
Sounds about right.
But I don't understand how that's any different from how they do shit now. Most of the time, they don't defend the titles for 30 days anyway. So how is that anything new?
I know. I hate that with wrestlers. I hate that. Oh well, they haven't defended it in 30 days. Well, dude, the trios titles in AEW haven't been defended. There's been several 30-day spans where they haven't been defended. So what does that matter?
It kills me so much in wrestling, and especially the WWE has done this. And I'm gonna say something bad about the WWE real quick, because WWE has done this, and it's made other companies follow suit. They have forgotten so many sacred rules in wrestling. Rules. 5 count on the ropes. You don't get off, you're disqualified. You know what I'm saying? It's
absolutely.
just, get out of the ring.
10 counts.
Yes, you're outside of the ring, and I've counted it, man. They're outside of the ring for 30, 40 seconds. I'm like, I thought it was a damn 10 count and you were done.
I always love when the camera's on the referee and you can see he's at 8. And then all of a sudden something happens. He yells at him, "Hey, no, don't do that." And then all of a sudden, and then he's 1. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What?
It's just
like,
focus.
Yeah.
Did you forget you were at 8? Did you forget what number you were on? Then maybe just ring the bell if you forgot.
It's something they've got to get back to. Is that you can't just pull a 30-day rule up.
No.
Out of your ass when you haven't worried about a 30-day rule in 15 years.
Yes, you can't disqualify MJF for using the diamond ring after he threw someone into the post.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense.
I just threw you into a steel barricade in an area of the arena we're not really supposed to be in. So if you're not supposed to use if I can't hit you with a chair, what makes it okay to throw your head into You know, I can't pick the chair up and hit you in the head, but I can smack your head down on the seat of the chair.
Yeah, and then he pulls the diamond ring out, and all of a sudden the referee's like, "No, no, no, no! I'll ring the bell. I'll ring the bell." Where were you, dude?
Yeah.
Dude just smashed his head off the steps like 5 times in a row.
And
now
this
the
is what I'm
diamond ring,
talking about.
the magic diamond ring that MJF has. No, that's too much. That crosses the line.
And that's what kills me with all organizations right now. That's why I've been watching like NWA, and I've been watching like stuff AMW and stuff on you know, it's just
I'll say Ring of Honor.
they at least try to keep the story coherent and, you know, consistent.
That's
And they follow the rules of wrestling. Sorry, they follow the rules of wrestling. Indie follows.
Yeah, Ring of Honor is also something they stick to the rules and stuff pretty well, and that's what I like them for. That's something they always seem to do.
It's like you can't keep doing the same. Yeah, you can't make me care about a 30-day rule now when I've been wondering where Roman Reigns is for 6 months with a title.
Exactly.
It makes no sense. But anyway, you know how it goes. It's professional wrestling. That's why we tell you, go support indie wrestling. You know, they're great people, great shows, all kinds of stuff.
A lot of indie companies are starting to get savvy finally.
Yes. And yeah, it's
so you don't have to, like I'm just saying. Also, if you don't have any good local indie wrestling in your area, go search some YouTube for some indie wrestling. All right,
you will find something in your area.
More and more companies are using the social media the way they should have been doing for a long time now.
Yep.
J-Mac even said it, referred to me in the previous episode about it. I was like, absolutely. These companies, there's no reason. There is no reason. There's no reason not to be putting your stuff on YouTube or anywhere on social media. There's just not a reason. Get monetized. It's not going to it's not going to change your life. Facebook monetization YouTube monetization is not going to change your life likely, but it still is more money you can draw into your company. Why wouldn't you do that?
That's it. But yeah, it's crazy. So next story I got is, what does everybody think about the newest Bloodline member, Zilla Fatu, making his official WWE debut at NXT and getting in Tony D'Angelo's face? And wrecking the whole ring. Sorry.
I knew it was coming. Word about him coming has been circulating for a long time. Yes. It was only a matter of time before it actually happened. So this is not really anything shocking to me, honestly. Like I said, I'm just shocked that it didn't happen sooner, honestly, because I figured it would be probably a couple weeks or a month sooner. So, yeah, no surprise there.
I agree. JD?
I don't really care. I don't care. His bloodline's so screwed up. They messed it up. I don't care. I'm over it.
He said, I don't care.
It was great for a minute, and now I don't care. Let's see what this kid can do. That's what I say about it. I don't know who he is. I don't care that he's part of the bloodline or whatever. Let's see if he's any good.
You know what I think that WWE really missed out on that they're going to try to do here?
What?
The NWO again.
No. When Solo came in, Solo was supposed to be this dominant enforcer that, you know, could just wreck people. Solo cannot cut a freaking promo to save his life, in my opinion. I don't. There's nothing he says that catches my attention. I just don't think he's a good promo, and that's why I think he was great as that enforcer. Look at Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu don't say much, but when he does say something, they give him something good, and he can pull it off. Does that mean that later on he can learn to do a promo? Maybe, I don't know. But Solo was supposed to be what Jacob Fatu was. And now they're even watering down Jacob Fatu. But what it was, I think they missed the train on Jacob Fatu versus Solo in a kind of monster versus monster. These two crazy, bloodline members, family members are going to go at it. You know what I'm saying? In some kind of, what's the match that they do now? The tribal rules.
Yeah.
Called the yawn match.
Yeah, the yawn match. But yeah, I think that would have been better and a better story than everything they've done since Roman Reigns lost the title and mid card took over. And they don't do anything with Jay or Jimmy Uso. They do everything with mid card Jay. And I'm sorry. I don't disrespect Jey Uso because he's a great he's a wrestler. He's been on the big stage. I have not. But there's some people who need to know what they tried. And he got a run. They tried. It didn't go nowhere. You got your run. Be happy doing what you're doing and collecting a good paycheck from now on because of the name. But I don't know.
I think splitting the bloodline is a huge mistake, especially since they didn't have enough members in the company yet to even do a reasonable split. You start recruiting people who look Samoan but aren't. That's typical WWE writing, and I don't really like that part. I think they should have kept it a whole unit, dominated. Yeah. Why is it? Why am I the only one that sees this? I'm waiting for AEW to do this too. I'm not sure what the hell they're doing with the Don Callis family, right? There's nothing wrong with a super stable. Put one together. But at some point, it can't just crumble from inside. Why does it just have to crumble? Why is it because, it leads to infighting, it's too big, and then they split? Why can't, the company, why can't WWE, the other wrestlers, come together? Or Cody Rhodes lead a new faction specifically designed to destroy the bloodline, right? Then that gives you an out to get rid of that, the opposing super stable when you destroy the original super stable. Then you're back to square one. Then you split up the bloodline and have them all go their separate ways because they had to do it. Why are we doing the same? They've done it time and time again where, a stable starts building up. And
it's Wolfpack Hollywood.
Yeah,
it's just Wolfpack Hollywood shit,
and it doesn't make any sense. I think the bloodline would have been better served as just continuing to recruit members. Keep Sami Zayn.
Yeah,
keep it going until you were up to the new guy who just joined. Why not have 8 or 9 or 10 guys in a stable and make another stable or give another?
I don't want that many people in the stable.
There's no you don't do it for a long time, but the way they did the bloodline, as long as it took, you're telling me
you're right. The bloodline, they screwed it all up, but I don't want more than 6 people in a stable.
How many legitimate bloodline members would there be right now if they had kept it whole and not done this fracture stuff, excluding Sami Zayn?
Roman, Jay, Jimmy, Solo, Jacob, and Zilla.
How many is that?
6.
That is not even a super stable.
Are we forgetting about the MFTs and all
that? That's not. They are not bloodline. They're Haku's sons. Haku is not a bloodline member. He is. They just call him a bloodline or a member of the family. He's not actually bloodline to any of the family.
Yeah, so he's not part of that. He's not actually part of that bloodline.
Okay.
So.
It's just because they were from island nations, they kind of bonded, and their cultures were similar.
So they just lumped them all together.
Well, did you see? Yeah, basically. But did you see where Haku came back?
Yeah, yes.
And he is now because they're now called the Sons of Haku.
Sons of Haku, yes, yeah. I've seen all that.
I don't like that, man. What? Why? Why do we got to use his name to get them over? Are they not good enough? I
don't have an issue with that, but I just feel like the bloodline shit's kind of played out. I feel like they're just leaning on that because they don't have any other ideas. They don't know where else to go. They don't have anything else to do. So they're just on something that they did before that kind of worked, and they're kind of killing time till they figure something out. I mean, that's just my opinion. I feel like they don't know what they're doing with CM Punk and fucking Cody Rhodes. I think Randy getting hurt kind of threw everything through a loop. They don't know what they're doing with Seth Rollins. They're trying to bring, Oba and Braun Breaker, rivalry going and shit. So they're trying to throw some new people, but at the same time, they still don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Well, see,
And they're
here's
just
my thing. I would have been happier if they would. I would have rather that team been called the New Islanders than the Sons of Haku. I'm sorry, it's just dumb to me. But let me get to a couple comments. Guess who's back in the chat? Uncle Slam,
Who?
our friend Keita.
What's up, kiddo?
And we got Philip Boyles, who said Solo is so much better now that they have let him be himself. He's over more now than ever. I just responded. I said, me personally, I'm not a fan of what they've done with him. I'd rather him be the enforcer guy. But that's just me.
But he didn't say anything then, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was quiet. He was that quiet enforcer.
I know. Remember how good Rambo was?
Shut the fuck up.
He didn't say much either. I'm just saying, sometimes we should take hints from other things. So basically, we're saying you don't care about Zilla. I'm excited about Zilla being there because I like Zilla Fatu. I think he's one of the best ones of the group and everything, but they've just a lot sooner and a lot quicker would have been a lot better at the end of the day for that. I mean, that's just my opinion.
J-Mac, I'll be right back, man. I got to step away for just a moment.
Okay, you're fine. Let's see here. We've got my last thing that I'm going to talk about before I go into the SummerSlam thing, because that's really all I've got to recap and everything. And then I'll let Uncle Slam do his recap, and we'll talk a little bit about. Since we got a little more time, we can talk a little bit, about the stuff that happened at SummerSlam and some of his stuff on his recap. If you got anything, I don't even know, man. Guys, we kind of just threw this recap show together for y'all. I'm just going to be honest. But, so this past week I have seen, and I'm not trying to perpetuate anything, I'm just wanting to get an opinion. And again, this is just coming from an outsider looking in. None of us have ever been inside that ring. None of us have ever done anything like that. I mean, I run a podcast. I've helped put a few chairs up, but I don't consider that doing anything. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just help put a few chairs up. I do weddings and family reunions and shit like that too. It ain't something that I'm trying to do to, get into a fraternity or anything. I just help because I want to help. But there is a big story going around about AJ Styles' son.
I think I read something about that. Yeah.
Some people are mad that he was at a show and didn't help put chairs up or put the ring up, something to that effect. He didn't help out in some way, shape, or form with the setup of the show. Then people got to arguing about paying dues and things like that. And I've heard all kinds of arguments, both sides. And I'm not going to say anybody's right or wrong, but I will give my opinion, and I'll let you give yours too, Uncle Slam. And when JD gets back, we'll let him give his. But I kind of agree with what Cody said. When he said that the kid paid his dues when his daddy was on the road all the time, making money to keep, help the family. That don't necessarily absolve you of everything, but let's not get into talking about paying dues. Because his dad was on the road, was gone. He gave up his time, to make money for the family. So, one of the arguments was that AJ Styles' son has paid his some dues. You know what I'm saying? And then the other arguments are, of course, that he hasn't paid his dues the way that others have to, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm not trying to dismiss it by saying blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying I don't want to go into a rhetoric. Um, I see both sides. I really do. Because I don't like nepotism. But I also see what Cody Rhodes said. And it seems to me like the overwhelming opinion is that he's paid some dues. How much? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Again, I've never been in the business. But, a lot of people, a lot of big names, a lot of wrestlers and people in the business say he's paid his dues. And some people are saying it's nepotism. And it probably is a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Life is about who you know. And I hate to say it like that. Now, that doesn't mean you gotta, abuse that. You know what I'm saying? But if you know the right people because you've been a decent person or, you've gained a reputation as somebody that somebody can trust, like, or whatever, why is it so wrong if they help you out? That's a friend helping a friend. You see what I'm saying?
It's also true for kids of athletes to get into the same sport, and because usually they're as good. I mean, I understand you're telling me Ken Griffey Jr. got some form of nepotism.
You're
right?
telling me Michael Jordan's son didn't get something on his high school teams and stuff?
Yeah, when you carry the name of someone great, it's going to give you more edges.
I agree.
Not so.
I don't know. Like I said, I've never been in the ring, so I don't want to hammer down on and I'm writing it in stone. This is my opinion. I see what both sides say. I can sway a little bit right now more towards the side of he's paid a little bit of dues by giving up, his time with his dad so that we could enjoy what his dad did. But I could see where the argument would be made that could sway me the other way too. You see what I'm saying? It's one of those iffy. It's one of those iffy type things, and I'm just wondering what your all's opinion is about everybody going off on it and everything. JD, go ahead. I'll let you go first, buddy.
Thank you. I think WWE wrestlers work a 5-day work week now. Nobody else in the wrestling world can say that they work a 5-day work week and they get guaranteed 2 days off a week. Nowhere in the wrestling world does that happen except WWE. So anybody who in the wrestling world who only has a 5-day work week shouldn't be saying anything to anybody in the indies. Once they get their opportunity, you should shut up and see if they have it. Because you're not taking apart the ring anymore. You tell me Triple H is taking apart the ring? Of course he's not. Neither is Undertaker nor Obafemi.
Well, and that's what they're saying, though. They've paid their dues, though.
Have they?
I mean, yeah, once you're a world champion multiple times and you've
Who's the new guy that you guys just said was signed?
Zilla Fatu?
Zilla Fatu.
Yeah.
He's paid his dues? How old is he?
Yeah, he's been on the indies for years.
Yeah.
Has he?
Yeah. He has.
Zilla Fatu's a beast.
Okay. Well, I'm not familiar with Zilla Fatu. I'm just saying.
And the cool thing is he's only 26 years old.
Yeah, I'm saying if people should shut up and let him see what he does with the opportunity. I'm so tired of it. Oh, this person shouldn't have gotten that opportunity. There's 100 million reasons that someone who's in a position to give someone an opportunity will give this person and not that person an opportunity. It's up to the decision maker. He's got the opportunity, so see what he does with it now. That's, I think, is what my opinion is. Let's see what he does with it. I don't care if it's nepotism that he got the shot. Let's see if he's worthy of that shot.
I mean, I agree with that, but I mean, at the end of the day, we're talking about setting up some chairs. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, is it the end of the world? I don't know. But anyways, Uncle Slam, go ahead.
I see what you're talking about when it comes to this, but at the same time, I feel like I'm more on the side of I feel like it's kind of disrespectful. If that's the case, then that means every kid that was, dad was a wrestler doesn't have to set up chairs because they wasn't home with him. Does that mean Randy Orton didn't set up chair because his dad wasn't there? Does that mean like Mr. Perfect, didn't set up because his daddy wasn't there? Does Jeff Jarrett didn't have to set up chairs because his pops wasn't there? I mean, does that give everybody a pass because their daddy wasn't there? No, no. This is what we signed up for. You, you knew, like when you got in the business, part of being a wrestler is being on the road 24/7. That just comes with it. And yes, it sucks for the kid, and it sucks for most professional athletes. That's whether you're a football player, basketball player, whatever. You're on your own. You're gone away from your family. That's why you get paid so much. It's kind of like what little buddy said earlier, or whatever. I would do the wrestling for free, but I get paid to to go to the airports and travel and drive around and all this other shit. I feel like, why can't he set up the chairs and shit? Yes, his dad did, was away, but so was a lot of other people. A lot of people still are now, and they're still setting up the chair. I feel like it's a little bit of it's not huge disrespect, but I feel like it's a little bit disrespect maybe to the old school guys because, back in the day, I mean, that's what you did. You know what I'm saying? To kind of prove your dues. You set up the chairs. Now, I definitely agree with JD when it comes to like once you make it to a certain level, yeah, man. Of course, you're not setting up chairs. Triple H, The Rock, Stone Cold weren't setting up fucking chairs. Like once they became like who they were. Now, are some other guys that are jobber setting up in rings and shit? Maybe there's but in the indies, of course, a lot of people probably still are or whatever. I don't see why he couldn't set up chairs. I don't get the whole well, he's already paid his dues. Did he? I mean,
I see what you're saying.
Like what makes him different from anybody else that was a wrestler or whose daddy was a wrestler and stuff. Like, that just opens up a can of worms to so many other people that are going to be like, well, my pops wasn't here, or my mom wasn't here, so I shouldn't have to do everything that everybody else did. To me, that just kind of sets a bad precedent. I see why people would say that, but like I said, it just opens up a can of worms that it's going to just start too much bullshit. That's just not worth it.
I would like to, yeah, I would like to speak to a second generation wrestler and see what their opinion of it is. If it's, because I think it's best, on something like that, you have to, the real opinions on it are the people who do it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're just arguing, well, not arguing, but we're just discussing what we think we know of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it was a little earlier, I'd reach out to Austin Diamond right now.
Right.
Name drop Austin Diamond Hotel. You can get their gear on Mayhem Media's storefront. But I would definitely, if it wasn't so late, I would absolutely reach out to him and see and just ask him the question, dude, do you give a crap about AJ Styles' son paying his dues or not? Like, does that even register to you? Is that even on?
Or not even him, just anybody. You know what I'm saying? If
I think Scott really I think Scott might have a differing opinion, but that's what I'm saying. I think you're right though. You want to ask a second generation star, but if you ask a first generation star, you're likely to get a different answer than you would from the second.
And especially a second generation star that's been around for a while. Not just somebody who's a rookie himself.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you're talking from, well, yeah, man, if somebody's not going to make me pick up some chairs, I mean, I'm not even a wrestler. If somebody don't ask me to, I'm probably not going to. But, I love EWA and everything, so I started putting some chairs up.
If I was a wrestler and I knew picking up chairs or setting up chairs on the indie scene would get me more bookings or prove whatever to whoever, then I probably would do it sometime. Yeah. But, like, let's say my career just started and I haven't even had the opportunity to start setting up chairs or rings, and then WWE, because of who my dad is, wants to give me a contract. Why would I still not take that contract? Why would I still not take that opportunity?
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, I looked this up and everything to see what this was, and you were talking about the 5-day work week with WWE. It says in that 5 days, though, that it says top tier professional wrestlers work longer hours than traditional 9 to 5 jobs, of course, with a typical work week ranging from 80 to 100 plus hours when you include travel, training, promo, and recovery. This schedule is physically taxing and leaves little room for vacations unless there's a major storyline, a brand icon, Undertaker, blah, blah, blah. Um, I averaged it out for a 5-day work week. They work about 20 hours a day.
I mean, I'm not saying that the wrestlers still don't have a grueling schedule.
Right. But it's not what it was before.
Having 2 guaranteed days off a week is not what their fathers or their grandfathers had.
No, not at all. And that's what I'm saying. I agree. They do. Their schedule has changed. I don't want to say it's harder or not. Whatever. It's changed. Some say for the better. Some say for the worse. I mean, I don't think it's for the worse as far as the gruelingness of the schedule.
20 hours a day, though. I mean, like, when do you sleep, though? Like,
right.
If you're working 5 days, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's probably like 16, 15-hour days or something like that. That
includes travel, Slam. So you're on.
That is true. That is true. Like, I didn't think about travel counts as that too, because you probably are doing a lot of driving.
Well, and not only that, look at like what Class was talking about on the last show. You would have to be going like John Cena's going. 20 hours a day, sleep, Vince McMahon type shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. But anyways, on to the next. Here we go. We are going to, that's all the news stories I got. Like I said, it was a slow week for me, guys. But I am going to bring up a couple things. We're going to talk about SummerSlam real quick, and then we'll throw it to Uncle Slam so we can get out of here tonight. Let's see. SummerSlam Night 1. We had CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes, and CM Punk defeated Cody Rhodes. But there was a returning Randy Orton, and he RKO'd Cody Rhodes. What do y'all think about that? Uncle Slam?
No real surprise. I mean, like, it was nice to see Randy. He'd been hurt for a while, he just come back. I think it's like WrestleMania he got hurt right afterwards.
Like that.
I like Randy. It was a nice surprise. I'm not too excited about it. It's all right. I was more excited about the Kevin Owens than I was about Randy Orton, to be honest.
All right, well, we'll talk about that here in a minute. JD?
Oh, I don't care.
He said, "Oh, I don't care."
I don't. I don't with Randy. I mean, who cares, really? I mean, I'm not. Listen, just like with the Bloodline, I think the whole Cody Rhodes thing is botched, and I'm not really. I'm pretty bored with that myself. Also, even when I hear stuff about it, I'm like, I don't. It just doesn't interest me.
Well, here's my question, okay? Because what if Randy's thinking about winding it down?
Oh, I would imagine he is.
Yeah.
So in that, do you think that they could salvage the Cody thing by doing the whole mentor passes the torch?
I think Randy Orton, you're right. In that context, I think Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes could have an amazing program. Yes, I think those two could put on an amazing program together.
But that's what I'm saying. Does it have to be Cody, or does it have to be Randy leaving to make it and actually retiring to make it that, or does it fall short if it's just mentor versus student? Does it have to be Randy's careers on the line?
I think to make the story believable and more intriguing, I think that kind of a storyline would do better, where Randy Orton is leaving, he knows he's leaving, and this is the whole point. This is his last hurrah. Or where it's for his career match, where it builds up, and then Cody Rhodes is like, all right, put your career on the line. I think that would be the way that, if you want a good program, which is not something WWE puts on a whole lot of, in my opinion, I think that it would have to be like Randy Orton's last hurrah. We have to be moving into Randy Orton's last hurrah.
Okay, Uncle Slam, what do you think about that?
I definitely agree with JD on Randy. I think he's winding down. I would rather see him retire within the next year or so, maybe two at the most. Passing the torch would be okay, but I don't know. Like I said, I mean, they got to do something else with him. Like, I'm kind of like JD. I really don't care too much. I kind of like, when he became the old Randy for the, WrestleMania, but since he got injured, I just don't give a shit. I guess out of sight, like out of mind, pretty much. Since he ain't been around, so I really just don't care.
Okay. So, yeah. I don't know. I kind of feel like it has to. It's going to have to end soon. You know what I'm saying? Something, and I agree. I think I'll be honest with you. I think everybody at the top in the WWE has run his course. I'm tired of seeing the bloodline. I hate to say it. Even though he is the only kind of bright spot they have, I'm tired of seeing Roman Reigns. I'm tired of seeing Punk. I'm tired of seeing Rhodes. I'm tired of seeing people like LA Knight get passed over who should be having a hellacious run right now. But whatever, we're going to go to the next match here. Liv Morgan defeated Io Sky. What do you think, Uncle Slam?
I'm yawning. That pretty much
Oh.
says it all. Don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about this match. I mean, I really didn't. Like, not to be cold, but it's like I just don't like the whole Judgment Day's played out. EO, they ain't really done shit with her since the whole Oscar thing. I don't care. I just didn't care.
JD.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not. I like Liv Morgan, so let's go with that. I like Liv Morgan, so if she's still the champion, that's fine with me.
Well, I'm going to talk about this one first because this one kind of pissed me off. I knew it was going to happen, but it pissed me off. Gunther versus Nick Aldis.
Why?
Because I know people have said what they've said, and friends of ours have said about Nick Aldis and personal feelings towards him and stuff after working with him. But that doesn't change the fact that Nick Aldis, for about a 2-year span, was one of the top 10 wrestlers in the world. And to me, again, there was just, and this is where the WWE drops the ball. There was no need to bring him out of retirement just to lose. If you're going to do that, save that shit for WrestleMania. I'd rather see Nick Aldis and Gunther at WrestleMania as a third or fourth match on the card than a SummerSlam match, watching Nick Aldis come out of retirement, finally get to the WWE after being NWA champion, blah, 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 and he loses the first damn match. Well, yay, let's build to a loss. Stupid. Sorry, just the way I feel. Slam.
I'm upset too, but for a different reason. I'm upset that I lost time that I'll never get back by watching this match. Because I didn't give two shits about it. I'm with you. I don't see why they brought him out of retirement. I don't like. Did they not have anything else to do with Gunther? Did they just not have anybody else he could wrestle? Because this just seems like the biggest bullshit out there. I didn't care about the story. I didn't care about Gunther. Like, who really thought Nick was really going to beat Gunther? Did anybody be like, oh no, there's a chance he's really going to? No. Like, this was. I mean, this was, like I said, I was angry, but for a different reason. It was just, man, you just wasted my time.
Right. JD.
Is he there?
Oh no. Well, I mean, it can't be as bad as what I'm watching.
I don't know.
I'm literally watching the Four Horsemen lock Sting in a cage. And guess who's walking out to save him?
Who?
RoboCop.
Oh, I love it. What is that? War Games?
Capital Combat,
Oh yeah, I love
1990,
that
I
one.
believe it is. I
I will
hate this
never
shit.
forget that
Because
one.
he's going to come out here, he's going to
Yeah.
go over to it, he's going to pull that
Yes, yes.
cardboard cage door
I
off.
love it. Like that shit was stuck in my head forever when RoboCop came out and pulled that door off and shit. Yes, yes. Like the movie was better than the fucking wrestling match that for the first time.
Sting's tag team partner is RoboCop.
What
Look,
the
man,
fuck?
I get kayfabe and everything, but that just took it a little too far.
Hey,
Anyways,
don't talk shit on Sting.
I'm not talking shit on Sting. I'm talking shit on WCW because they had RoboCop at a damn pay per view saving Sting, and we
Yeah,
wonder why this company went broke.
that was like a decade before they went broke, bro. That
And
had nothing to do with it.
decisions make long term decisions make big decisions. When you dig a hole that's to China, you got to fill the hole that's to China, and it was hard to do. Bischoff tried, but it was just they shot themselves. Look, and RoboCop almost tripped over a damn cord and then looked down at the cord and then walked on. That was great. That was classic. The motherfucker tripped, looked down, and the robot looked down. He didn't scan the cord first and step
Hey,
over it.
cord in the way.
Oh my
Shoot it.
God, that was hilarious. Alrighty, I'm going to move on. I don't think many people were really concerned that much with SummerSlam. I just don't think it was a great pay per view overall. I'm going to touch on a couple more matches, and then I'll just name off the winners and losers and stuff of the other ones. So of course, I want to talk about the return of Kevin Owens. Night 2. Kevin Owens defeated Finn Balor, Sami Zayn, and Gunther. So Gunther could lose on night 2, but he couldn't lose on night 1. But anyways, let's not go backwards. What do y'all think about KO's return and him defeating these three gentlemen? Uncle Slam.
I was actually happy to see him. You know, it had been a while. Plus, you know, like everybody knew about the whole injury, the neck surgery, the fusion. They didn't know if he was going to be back or not because, you know, obviously that's a pretty serious injury. You know, you don't want to put your life at risk. And it was good to see him out there doing like a lot of the stuff that he was still, you know, used to do. You know, he didn't seem like he was, you know, like too much different than he was before or whatever. So like I said, that was one of probably the only bright spots in the whole SummerSlam was him coming back for the match or whatever.
JD?
Yeah, I like Kevin Owens. I think he's probably one of the few bright spots that the WWE has. So I think it's good that he's back. I'd like to see them put him in, like, do something. That's what I'd like to see now. Now that he's back, let's see him, you know, put him in a program with somebody, give him a belt, or put him in a, you know, a position where he, you know, in a program where he can win a belt or something. I think Kevin Owens is somebody they're going to have to lean on here because, like Uncle Slam said, he's just so tired of the top of the card. You know, the WWE's mountain is just, it's always been the same couple guys at the top. I think Kevin Owens,
Especially past few
while he's
years.
been at the top, even though Kevin Owens has been at the top, he's not a regular guy at the top. So I think he's somebody that could maybe add a little bit more, a little bit more variety into the programming.
I 100% agree. 100%. Another match that I didn't talk about that we need to. Brock and Oba Femi. What's everybody think about it? Hell in a Cell.
Why was it a Hell in a Cell match? It should have just been a damn DQ match. They didn't use the Hell in a Cell for shit.
No.
That was my biggest gripe. I mean, the match was all right, but it was like that could have been a DQ match. Like you didn't, like I said, I mean, you didn't use the Hell in a Cell for shit. So what was the point in that? I like the passing of the torch. You know, I mean, I don't think anybody thought that it was going to end any other way besides that. But yeah, I mean, my biggest gripe was just like there was no point in having a Hell in a Cell. Like we didn't use the Hell in a Cell. So
I 100% agree, JD.
I'm sorry. What was this? What was this question?
Brock Oba Femi.
I thought that ended at WrestleMania.
No.
No, I mean I was just making a joke. Like I
Right,
thought that was
right,
the
right.
whole thing. That was the whole thing was WrestleMania. So I don't think continuing their pro based on what the match was supposed to be at WrestleMania and Brock took his boots off. I think that is one of the most disrespectful things you can do, to fake your retirement for a storyline or a pop from the audience. That is crap, in my opinion. Brock retired at WrestleMania. Him coming back is BS, and I don't buy any of it. I'm ready for Obafemi to move on.
I, I'm gonna kind of disagree, but it's one of those things too that again I would like to hear an expert's opinion on how they feel about it, like a wrestler. But I don't have a problem with it as long as it's a storyline and it's pulled off right. As long as it's not done disrespectfully or anything like that.
What? Why was him retiring? What was that point?
It
Where?
was the shock.
What
It
is
was
that story point?
it was the
I,
shock when he came back and attacked
You're right, but it
Obafemi.
had no. Okay, yeah, but that's not a story point. That's just something that happened, and people were shocked that he retired, and then shocked when he returned. You did it for shock value.
Well,
See,
Where's
I
yeah,
the
don't
of
think it
story?
course.
was all for the shock. I think he really meant to retire, and that he got forced to come back by the WWE because I don't think that was supposed to be what was supposed to happen at the
Well, yeah,
WrestleMania,
because there
whatever.
was that talk about the lawsuits and stuff in the
Yeah,
contract.
I think that
Ah,
I think that like he really wanted to retire, that he that wasn't scripted, and that he pulled that off. They got pissed, lawsuit, and to keep money or to salvage shit, they made him continue till SummerSlam to help give Oba over and shit. That's
but
just my
again,
opinion. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like
think
that's what I feel.
yeah, but I think he put him over at Mania. Why do we have to do it again? Why does it have to be done a second
I
time?
think that
WWE
that's
loves that, but
I think that's TKO decision. I don't think that was a
Yes,
Brock
that was a
decision.
TKO money decision.
I
yeah,
think if it was up to Brock, he would have, he was done. Like I said, I mean, he did
Well,
everything he needed to do.
I'm
That was a great way to go out. And they
yeah,
ruined it by making him come back and
yep.
attack
I'm
Oba and then doing it at SummerSlam.
I'm
It
gonna
was a
add
money
on
grab.
to that. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I thought you
No,
were done.
no,
I'm
you're good.
gonna add on to that I believe that's kind of what happened, Uncle Slam. I don't know if that's to a T
Yeah.
what happened, but it's in that neighborhood because it had something to do. It was a real retirement, and then something got forced. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it was contracts. I don't know what, but we weren't supposed to see Brock again.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And I think that's why a lot of things happen. One, I think the emotion from Paul Heyman at WrestleMania, the tears and the hugs and all that stuff, that was real.
Yeah,
I 100% believe that. When everything was said and done, and Obafemi was crying at SummerSlam and told him thank you, and that's why Brock went off script, because that was even off script when he got the mic and told him, "I'm the past, this is the future." Uh, that was off script. The Oba crying and stuff and saying thank you was off script. I think all that was a result of it's supposed to be this. Because of legal issues, it got forced into this. And it was just genuine respect by both men, because Oba realized, okay, he really doesn't want to do this, but he's not going to bullshit around. He's just going to do it for me. You know what I'm saying? To get me over. And then at the end of the day, he put him over even on the mic. You see what I'm saying? I think all that was a
yeah.
result of the fact that that shit got forced, and Brock said, "Okay, y'all want to do this? Y'all want to play this way? Then y'all over here playing with Roman Reigns and all them. I'm putting the stamp on Oba. Now watch everything change. Brock's guy is the one that's doing it now, not your guy, not your toy champions." And I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm saying that's the statement he was trying to make.
Yeah, TKO still making business decisions. They haven't learned their lesson yet.
Well, then we found out that they're using AI
Oh
to write
my
stories.
goodness.
Are
Yeah.
you lying to me? Please
Nope.
say no.
No,
God
Oh
look it
damn
my
up.
it.
goodness.
Triple H is pissed off about it.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. It's terrible. Sorry, guys. I dropped the lid to my soda. But
Oh
yeah, that's
man.
stupid. It's completely stupid. But yeah, as
Oh,
but anyways, happy retirement to Brock Lesnar. Appreciate everything you've done.
you've earned it
One of the
twice now.
best, huh?
Said you've earned it twice now, Brock.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, you've one of the greatest combat sports athletes of all time, hands
Hold on.
down.
I got a quick question that somebody
Yeah.
asked me just the other day. They were like, and I'm going to ask y'all this. Do you think Brock Lesnar will go down as one of the greatest technical wrestlers?
I don't know because he didn't need it in the ring. He was a power guy. So while he had that wrestling background, we didn't get to see it very often.
See, I said the same thing, but the only time was maybe with Kurt Angle or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's exactly what I was just about to say. I was like,
Yeah.
maybe with Kurt Angle, when he wrestles Kurt Angle, because Kurt Angle has the chops to be able to take a bigger guy. So Brock
Yeah.
likely actually had to wrestle him a little bit. But he's a power guy. That's what they built him as. He's not while he had that background, and I think that helped him. I think the background in wrestling made him a better power guy. But we just didn't see that very often from him. So
Yes,
I don't know
yeah.
about the greatest technical wrestler.
See, that's exact. I
see-
swear that's exactly what I said, JD. Exact, almost word from word. Legend, go ahead.
Well,
Well,
see
it
here.
means a lot, Uncle Slam.
Here's what I was gonna say is like it depends on which Brock you're talking about. Now, are we talking? And we're only speaking WWE, right? We're not talking
Yeah.
about UFC or college or anything like that. Okay, so with just WWE, it depends on which Brock you're talking about, because the
Talking
Brock,
about post surgery or
No,
talking about
no.
after surgery.
the Brock that first debuted was not the same Brock that's been around for the last 10 years or so years when he came back from football and UFC and all that stuff. The Brock after he came back from all that stuff was a 5-10 minute match person. I'm going to do one move 50 times and just blow you away and, boom, you're done. I'm going to annihilate you. The Brock before, the one that came up from Ohio Valley, he's the one that was wrestling. Go watch his matches. He was dominating like he is now because he's just always been able to do that. But he was wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Go back and watch him and
I know
Cena.
what you're saying, but like when I think of Brock Lesnar, I don't think of technical wrestler. I know he has it in him because obviously he was an NCAA champ and stuff, but I see him as a power guy. Like when I think of technical, I think of Bret Hart, I think of Dean Malenko, I think of Mr. Perfect, people like that. I don't think of Brock Lesnar. I don't even really think of Kurt Angle as a technical wrestler.
Yeah.
Like I know he can be, but Kurt was just so much more. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I said, like this is my opinion. I see Brock as a power guy. Like I see him as like a Hogan. I feel as somebody that he just had brute strength and he would just beat you with that. Could he do I mean, like did he suplex? Yeah, but he's also going to bench press you. He's not going to do a bunch of takedowns, arm drags, like there's not going to be a bunch of chain wrestling and stuff like that, that type of shit. That's not who he was.
Yeah, you're right. That's not who he was. But I'm gonna have a hot take right here. You said you don't see Kurt, and you said Kurt was so much more than just a technical wrestler.
I feel like he was.
Right? No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because he could adapt to any style.
Yes.
He could go in there. But his background was technical wrestling.
Yes.
I consider Kurt Angle probably one of the top 10, and not getting into a debate of where he is or anything like that, just my opinion. I consider Kurt Angle one of the top 10 greatest wrestlers of all time. I don't
have a problem with that. like I
without
said.
thinking, I would say top 7. And now we're just talking about wrestlers, people in the ring. Um,
So you're not
but
saying like anything about promos, just pure wrestling, right?
just wrestling in the
Okay.
ring, just pure
Okay.
wrestling talent. I would put Kurt up there with Brett, HBK. So my hot take is going to be that I put Brock up there too. Because I think anything that any of them could do, Brock could do, but he could also pick any one of them up and throw them into the third row. We're talking about a man who is almost 300 pounds, 6 foot 3, 4, I may even be more, that got up on the top rope and performed a shooting star press, about killed his damn self, and still got up and had one of the greatest matches we've ever seen in WrestleMania history. And it's one of the most underrated matches of all time. And I think Brock Lesnar is part of that fraternity now. Now, I'm not saying top 10, but I think Brock is definitely probably now top 15 all time.
All right. Well, here's my hot take. I would put, and this is just technical wrestlers. I would put a Chris Benoit over a Brock Lesnar
Oh,
and saying
wow.
he's a better technical wrestler just in the ring because I've seen more technical wrestling from Chris Benoit than I have from Brock Lesnar. Not saying once again that he can't do it or that he hasn't done it. It's just most of his work is power. It's not technical wrestling.
Go watch him and Shelton Benjamin in OVW.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But in WWE, like when you
Right,
think of
right,
his
right.
matches, besides just a Kurt Angle or a Shelton Benjamin, when he did all these other matches, was he technical? No, it was. I got more. I'm stronger and I'm bigger than you. I can pound you,
But
beat you up, that type of shit. He didn't have a whole bunch. Like I would go 95% is power and 5% is technical wrestling
but
as
but
far as his matches.
but okay, now he didn't do it, but he could do it. But
Yes,
in
yes,
saying that,
100%.
but
Kind of
in
like Hogan. Just
yes,
like Hogan could wrestle, he could wrestle if he wanted to, but that's not what they asked him to do in the WWE. And I feel like almost same thing with Brock. They didn't ask him to be a technical wrestler.
right,
They wanted him to be that monster. They wanted him to be that beast. They wanted him to be that strong guy. So that's what he was. Could he
right.
adapt to other styles? Yes. But that's not what he really did a whole bunch. He was, I'm this big, strong, and big, strong guy, and you can't beat me.
Okay, but by the same standard we just put on Kurt Angle, he could adapt to any style, is what we said.
Yes,
So could Brock. So
he could.
doesn't that put him in the argument?
No, because when I look at Kurt Angle's style, I don't see. Yes, he is a technical wrestler, but I see him as just a mix of pretty much everything. Just because Kurt was so good at doing everything. Not saying Brock's not good at doing a lot of shit, but I feel like Kurt was almost like a Swiss Army knife. He was that whatever you needed him to be, he could be, and he was good at it and shit. Not saying Brock wasn't, but I feel like he was just a little bit better than Brock. Um, but I still don't. I I could put Kurt Angle in the technical category. I wouldn't put him high. Like even though he probably is a better technical wrestler than probably any of the guys that I'm going to name, as far as like a Bret Hart or Chris Benoit or a Dean Malenko, he just didn't have to do as much of that. Like that wasn't what got him famous and shit. Just being just being the Olympic, wrestler, I think put him over more than like anything else and shit. I don't know. I just don't see Brock and Kurt as the same. I feel like kind of like I said, I feel like Kurt is more of a Swiss Army knife and Brock's more of the power guy. But I see why you would say that though. I just don't agree.
Word. JD, you want to chime in on this any?
No, I think you guys got that pretty good there. I think, and I would agree with Uncle Slam though, but I understand your point, J Mac.
I think he's got to go in there. I just think he's got to be in the argument. But yeah, well, that's all I've got as far as the SummerSlam stuff. I'm gonna read off my little NWA, TNA, and AEW results, and we will, and of course, with our new AEW correspondent here, if he wants to chime in on some AEW stuff, he can. And we are going to get out of here, guys. Didn't mean to keep you this late. We didn't know but the conversation was good. We had better conversation than I thought we were going to have, especially for a show that was really just kind of thrown together with a couple of topics. Shows that we can talk about two topics and talk for a while.
That's what happens when you get three people who know how to talk together.
Yes. Alrighty, we are going to start out with the NWA results from this past week. The NWA New Mexico DCCW territory trials. No, we don't want that. Where are we at here? NWA Power, guys. Why'd you give me this? I didn't realize there were so many NWA territories still. Okay. Hey, look, you learn something new every day. And all I did was type something in wrong. Look, and it gives me the Powerball results. I don't want the Powerball results.
Are you struggling over there, Legend?
I'm struggling, man.
Like, do you want me to read mine off? Like, while you, I guess, get your shit together here.
Here we go. I got TNA up. We're August 6th. We're gonna go with TNA. I may not get to the NWA this week. If not, well, oh well. Okay, Mustafa Ali defeated Brian Myers, part of the Order 4 versus System storyline with ringside support from Eddie and Alicia Edwards, JDC, and Moose. Judas Icarius defeated Eric Young, a singles match that advanced the ongoing rivalry between those two. Ash Heather and M by Elegance defeated Cassie Lee, Jessica McKay, and Masha Slamovich. I like her name because it sounds like Slamovich. Anyways, Masha Slamovich. And tag team bout that saw Elegance team take the win. Indy Hartwell defeated Danny Luna by disqualification. Mike Santana defeated AJZ, a singles match that, of course, continues Santana's push for the TNA World title. Jeff Hardy defeated Nick Namath and Ryan Namath. The Hardys retained the TNA World Tag Team Championships. And let's see, we're going to go over to the AEW results for Dynamite. That is August. Well, actually, we're going to go with Collision on the 8th, and then we'll go to Dynamite on the 12th. I didn't realize they were still running two shows. Anyways, August 8th, 2026, Collision, Colorado Springs. They had Orange Cassidy, Claudio. I can't say his last name, so I'm just going to keep on going to Eddie Kingston.
Castagnoli.
Yeah, that's
you
it.
said I can't say his name.
Yeah, Orange Cassidy, Claudio, and that guy. Yeah. What Cesaro there? I'll call him Cesaro. And Eddie Kingston advance in the Continental Challenge Cup. See, what's the Continental Challenge Cup now? Are they making up a new title or a new? What is? No. Look, here's the thing. This is something that. Hold on, give me just a second, because this is the thing that kind of one of the things that bugs me about AEW, and I'm not taking it as a shot because I've taken a lot of shots at the WWE tonight too. But why do they have so many damn friggin' trophy tournaments?
Okay, so I like that two things. First is I like that AEW does some tournaments.
I don't mind tournaments, but it's like every other week there's a trophy to win.
The Continental Classic does not award a trophy, and it's called the Continental Classic. And what it is it was the initial way that they did the Continental Championship. When they did this, it started as a Continental Classic, and they awarded a belt. And then instead of this belt just being like a ceremonial trophy belt, it was defended as a regular belt. But every year they do the Continental Classic again, and the winner then gets a title shot at the Continental at the Continental Championship. So it's a tournament style, but it's also not bracketed. It's a very different kind of tournament style. I kind of like the Continental Classic. I almost like the Continental Classic a little bit more than the Owen Hart Cup tournament at this point, in my opinion. I think that's a little stale. It's cool. You get a belt. That's great. But it's just, it's a standard tournament that they just give out the belt as the trophy.
I
Um,
don't know.
but the
I
Continental
don't get
Classic
it.
is a different kind of a tournament, and then the winner gets a shot at the Continental belt. It's almost like the King of the Ring, except instead of getting, and actually, I don't know, did the King of the Ring get a world title shot?
Now they do. They used to
Okay, yeah.
not. They just walked around with a friggin' being called the king of the
Yeah.
WWE for a year.
Like the King of the Ring, except it's a different style of tournament, and the winner gets to challenge for the Continental Championship.
I don't know. I don't like the oversaturation of tournaments. That's my biggest thing. Is like just the whole
They
trophy
do have
thing.
it. They do kind of have it set up pretty much where there's almost 3 or 4 tournaments running throughout the year,
Yeah.
so there's not a lot of time in between those tournaments. So I get what you're saying, J Mac, completely on that.
Uncle Slam, what do you think? Too many tournaments?
It doesn't bother me as long as it's done right. Obviously, I don't watch as much AEW, so I don't really have an issue with it a bunch. I like the Owen Cup. I don't
He
know.
said, "Don't bother me. I don't watch it."
No. I mean,
No, I'm just messing with you.
no, like I still like AEW and stuff,
Yeah.
like you said. But I don't get to watch it as much as like other shows or promotions. So I don't have an issue with it or whatever. Maybe if I watched it more, like more regularly, then I might have an issue or something. But I don't have a problem with it. No.
There's 3 actually. Now that I think about it, there's the Continental Classic, which is just for a shot at the Continental belt. There's the Diamond. They still do the Diamond Ring tournament every year, and then they do the Owen Hart Cup tournament. So between those 3 tournaments, there's only really a couple of weeks in between all those where there's not a tournament going.
All right. Well, nothing else really happened on Collision other than Knight challenged Jericho for a match and multiple title defenses and, of course, storyline developments and stuff. So moving on to AEW Dynamite, we had Kenny Omega saved Will Ospreay from a potential loss, setting up a future match. Swerve Strickland made a surprise return to the roster, and if I'm not mistaken, he lined himself with the New Day.
No, I don't.
Well, the guys.
That's just speculate. That's just online speculation. I don't think the New Day has actually debuted in AEW yet.
I thought I seen an article today. Hold on, I'll look it up.
There's a lot of chatter, but I don't. They haven't. If they are going to AEW, they haven't made their debut yet. I don't think. That's what the speculation is, though, is that they're going to align with Swerve Strickland for whatever. I don't know. If the New Day is going to take on a harder persona, I'd be fine with that. But if I see Swerve Strickland turn into Big E and the New Day, I might just turn AEW off. That might drive me away. I'm a huge Swerve Strickland fan. And if I see him become the Big E for the New Day, I'm going to have a problem with that.
Okay, so you're right. It says no, Swerve Strickland is not officially with the New Day, but heavy online speculation and some insiders suggest that they may team up soon in the AEW.
Yeah, I didn't think that they had
Because he
officially
just
made their debut. There's right now the rumor
he
speculation
just returned.
they're going to debut it all at the end of August.
Well,
I don't know about that. I'm not. Listen, there's so much online speculation now with wrestling. It's so much worse than it was back in the day that I don't care what people say because nobody knows anything. They don't know. All the people writing articles, they're not the ones that know.
Unless you really have a real inside connection to a company, you don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's all speculation. Because of the fact that, and even then, you may only have connection with one company. You know what I'm saying? Because the person you're talking to may not be privy to anything because like TNA knows what the hell's going on in WWE. They know what wrestlers are coming up, leaving. They know which
My
guys are pissed off and don't want to be there, and vice versa. They're still monitoring each company, and because of being it's still being a fraternity. They know, who's pissed off. My buddy's over there at TNA, or my buddy's over at AEW and they ain't using him. He's happy. He's not happy, or WWE's not doing this dude right. So he's wanting to check out and go over here. You know what I'm saying? They keep their nose down to stuff that's going on like that. So it's like, I don't know, man. Unless you really know, you don't know because
Tony Khan's not one to shy away from just doing those announcements where when he picks up new guys. He's one to announce that, hey, this person's on our roster. Now you all guess how we're gonna use them. He's not
right.
one to be like, hey, I just signed someone new. Can you guess who it is? He likes to do it the other way. He likes to say, hey, we just signed this guy. What do you think he's gonna be doing?
Yeah. Uncle Slam, what do you think about Swerve joining New Day possibly?
No, that's not what's happening. Stop saying that out loud.
He said, "Stop spreading those lies."
Yeah, stop spreading those lies. I don't want to hear that stuff. You're gonna make me cry myself to sleep tonight. I don't want to hear it.
There's really not much to say, like I said, until we know it's true or not. So, I mean, like if it does happen, it'd be cool. But until then, I mean, I guess I just have to wait and see, kind of take it as that.
I got a question for y'all, and it has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now. But you all both watched kind of like the 89 ish to the 90s NWA into WCW time, right?
Yeah.
When Sting,
Yeah.
87 on up and everything.
I've seen everything I've seen everything from NWA from 19 or almost everything from 1980 on up.
Well, can anybody answer me what in the hell fascination WCW had with scaffolds around the entrance?
That was just their look. That's what
I
they
have
wanted it to
seen.
look like.
I'm over here watching this. It's that Capital Combat with RoboCop. By the way, that explains a lot. But there's just nothing but scaffolding around the friggin' entrance. It's like
That was
we're gonna put up the scaffold. We're not even gonna cover it with a cloth.
I'm pretty
It's
sure
just
you're even
scaffolding.
you're watching pre Nitro if I'm not mistaken.
Oh God, yeah. This Saturday night and Sunday night stuff right here.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. I'm trying to see if anything else really happened. MJF won the number 2 spot in the Casino Gauntlet. And then just other matches included C3 Progression and a title defense. So that's it for me. I'm going to shoot it over to Uncle Slam so he can read off his results and everything. And
All
we're
right,
going
I'm
to
gonna
let
keep
you
this
people
short
get
and
out of here.
sweet. We had Jay Uso defeat Solo for to bring him back in the bloodline.
Mid-card.
We had Penta defeat the Laredo Kid for a World Heavyweight Championship #1 contenders tournament match. Then we had Sol Ruka and Io Sky versus Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. And then we had Austin Theory defeat Akawa. Let's see. No, we Liv, nothing really big with her. Let's see. Besides her and Becky Lynch got into it. Let's see. We'll go to NXT. NXT, we had Izzy Dame and Nico versus Lizzie Rain and EK Proper. Wiz Prosper and Lizzie defeating Nico and Izzy by pinfall. Next, we had Saquon Sugar versus Dion Lennox. And we had Leon defeat Sugar by pinfall. Next, we had Ren Sinclair versus Zario, with Zario winning by pinfall. Next, we had Mason Rook versus Cam Hendricks, and Hendricks defeated Rook by pinfall. Uh, Next is Lexi King with Birthright versus Lucen Price, with Price defeating King by pinfall. And then we had the number one contenders match with Grayson Waller, who came down to NXT, versus Cruz Montana from TNA, with Montana and Wallen both losing versus a no contest because of Zilla Fatu. On SmackDown last week, because obviously we're always a week behind, we had Baron Corbin defeated Trick Williams to retain the U.S. title. We had the Fatal Influence, Fallon and Laney Reed defeat Chelsea Green and Tiffany Stratton. That's where they're saying Chelsea Green got hurt, where she broke her orbital socket or bone, whatever you want to call it. Then we had Charlotte Flair versus Jade Cargill. After interference from Alexis Bliss, and then we had Tatum Paxton show up. CM Punk, Kevin Owens, and Cody Rhodes all kind of had a little argument over the title, with Sammy bitching to Nick Aldis. And that is it with all the WWE news.
Well, guys, JD, I appreciate you being here, brother.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Anytime, I'm always happy to come on. Hey, tune into Mayhem Media tomorrow night. We're doing the continuing our MCU episode, and Uncle Slam and J Mac are both going to be a part of it.
What movie was it again? Avengers.
Infinity War.
Infinity War. Yes.
It's one of the Avengers. The Avengers, we do just the individual movie because we had a problem with that the first time.
Yep. But yeah, tune in tomorrow, watch it. Go follow Mayhem Media. They do all sorts of different things. Follow all their stuff. Follow JD.
Yep.
Send him a follow on Instagram, all that stuff. He's on, I think, every platform. I'm trying to talk him into getting that TikTok, man. He's missing all kinds of tags and stuff and everything when I tag people.
Yeah, we're working on stuff. We're working on stuff over here. I just shot that documentary, and I can assure you that week, I'm glad I didn't book any episodes, because that's why we haven't been on in a week and a half, because I was shooting a documentary, and I did not have time to do any episodes.
Yeah, well, I'm working on it, people. Y'all be able to go follow Mayhem Media and all the sub shows and stuff and everything that they do and different kinds of stuff. They don't do just wrestling. They do entertainment stuff, all kinds of different stuff, you know. They take on social issues and stuff like that too. But yeah, guys, man, I don't have any other stories. I think it's been a pretty good comeback show. You know, we haven't been around for a few weeks. We're working on some things. Headlocks is going to try to get some things going. We're trying to get some new shirts, get some ways for you all to buy shirts, merchandise, so that we can sell them to you. We appreciate everybody that comes, appreciate all the guests, all the, questions. We just appreciate everybody. We love doing this, and it's something we'd like to turn into a little bit more. So if you want to support us in any way, shape, or form, feel free to. We love y'all. We just want to keep doing this for you and be able to bring you more, not more better. I'm from Kentucky. I don't talk like that, though. We do want to bring you better content and from more shows and, different shows, and just show you all what independent wrestling is around Kentucky. So, yeah, follow, share, like, send them stars on Facebook or something. I don't know what that stuff's about, but apparently we get like 2 cents every time you send one. So, yeah, send us some stars. We like stars.
You guys get stars now?
Mario likes stars. Yeah, we can get them, but we don't get them.
Sweet. Oh no, I mean, dude, my other podcast page has been monetized for over a year now, almost 2 years, and I can also receive stars, but I've never actually gotten a star. Well, I usually
Yeah.
get more. I've earned more off of just people watching.
Mario likes stars. I like coins. So let's turn them stars into coins. Ba-ding. But anyways, guys, JD, appreciate you coming. Like I said, we will see you tomorrow evening.
Yep.
About 8ish. And Uncle Slam, you got anything else for these good people?
No, sir. I'm tapped out and ready to go to bed.
Well, guys, next week we will have. Who will we have next week? We will have Mr. Ben Sheeran next week. So make sure you tune in, 8 o'clock. I think we will try to do maybe a topic next week, Uncle Slam.
Yes, sir.
All right. We will try to get a topic. Hey, for real, comment on this post. Give us ideas for topics. You know, wrestling topics, whether it be a person, whether it be, you know, an event that happened or something like this. Give us topics to go into so that way we can do shows and everything. We want to do the stuff you all want to see. But yeah, tune in next week. Ben Sheeran from the Ben Sheeran brand, EWA, Elite Wrestling Alliance. Go check out Mayhem Media. Uncle Slam said he's tapped out. Referees hit that 3 count, so we are going to ring that damn bell.